Hi. So in last lecture, we saw that what is the overview of the design which we are going to build in PI. Before making the rest to rest scenario, what I am going to show you that we have what we did that we consumed the API using the eBay's UI, and from external application what kind of request is required to consume that eBay API. We are going to test it using a client, and that client application which we are using here is Postman. The other client application which is very much popular in market is SOAP UI5. You can use that, or you can use Postman. I would prefer using Postman because it has a cleaner, cleaner user interface. And so what I'm going to here, I'll try to build the REST call and try to hit the API and get back the response. The response should match with what we got in the previous video while we were using the eBay's internal UI. So I'll go to this UI and I'm going to copy paste this endpoint, and I'm going to paste it here. Now, if you can see, this call request is of type GET. So there are four types of request which we can make using REST web services, that is GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE. We are using GET here, and we have put the API endpoint. And if you can see, there are two parameters. One is the item, the other is the limit. So we can change this limit to, let's say, from 3 to 5. I change it to 5. Now I should get uh, 5 objects, five search items. Now what I need to do is to put the authorization. In last video, I showed you that how we use how we create this application token. Now, when you are creating this application token and executing it using UI, you don't need it's internally the entire API, the HTTP call is built. The structure of the HTTP call will be built by this UI, and it gets executed. So something happens under the hood. But while calling it from the third party client application, we need to provide this token. So I'll generate another. Okay, one thing to observe here is that what I have configured while I was configuring my application, which I have named as SAP PI, and I have configured and created the application token for those APIs which my application is going to use. So that's why I am going and getting this OAuth application token. You have an option of authenticating the APIs for per user. So let's say that for one user, there will be a list of APIs which a user A can access, but user B cannot access the same list of APIs. You can give the user B another set of APIs which he can use as per their role. Anyways, here what we are doing that we are authenticating for our application. So I am generating a new token and I'll copy paste. Okay, I'll generate a new token. I'm going to select copy and paste it here. So if you can see, the header prefix I have kept as bearer. And now what I'm going to do is to send this request. Okay, so here we are getting the request now. So this request has 5 items, and what we expect that when we build the interface, and when the receiver channel is going to hit that API, we are going to get similar kind of response. So this is how, while building the interface, this is how we test the APIs using the third-party client. Now I have created this REST to REST folder. To inside this folder, I'm going to create every other required objects. I'm going to activate it. Once this is activated, I'll go to the list and create the communication channels. Okay, communication channel and receiver component. Okay, first I have to create the receiver component, business component. So communication component, I am creating the communication component here, and this is a receiver component, so I'll give the receiver interface. Going to use this namespace. So I'll paste it here. So this is our receiver business component. Activating it. Similarly, we are going to create the sender business component. So I'm naming it as Postman. I go to sender, give the sender interface name. I'll save it, activate it. Now I'm going to create the channel. Basic Postman. So this is the sender channel which I'm creating. Created the sender channel. I'll choose the adapter as REST. So the data format is JSON. Keep it as JSON, and I'm going to specify the endpoint. So this is the endpoint which we are going to use while while triggering the entire ICO. We are going to use this endpoint. So I'll name it as eBay. That's it. Nested eBay, and REST resource, we'll make it custom pattern, and that's it. REST operation, that will depend on the HTTP operation determination, error handling,